Hey guys, just to let you know that this video, I've just realized while editing that it's going to contain a lot of spoilers from the finale of season 2 of 2025. So if you do not want to be spoiled, go watch the episode, then come back here because I go quite deep in some parts. But yeah, no, overall, just let you know this video will contain spoilers. All right, see you on the video. Oh, if there's one thing I love about Doctor Who, it's when there is a fan service finale, and we got just that. See, when I say a fan service finale, it's when you include literally a lot of characters you've seen throughout the season, and they all come together at once, and they work as a team kind of to save the day. Obviously, it's called Doctor Who, so the Doctor does the majority, but, you know, you see loads of different people inside the finale. So if you've been building up and you've been following everything along up to... from season 1 all the way up to this episode, then you'll be like, oh yeah, okay, I see what you're on about. Like, there's a lot of people that we've been introduced to, and at this point, we now know who they are. And because we know who they are before the final 2 episodes, they can just push them right on in. They don't need to do any work to kind of like tell you too much about these characters. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 of them, maybe like some of the Time Lord characters for the bad guys, but the majority of the good guys you don't really need to do any research on. You know who Ruby is, who Belinda is, who Kate is. This time you should know who they are, so you don't need to do any explaining or storytelling. You can just get straight on into the action with these characters, and that's what this was, just action-packed. Action after action after action, and because it's finale, you do have to have that sentiment at the end. So it's not like just like the action ends and that's it, that's the game over. No, it's the action ends and then there's a little bit of extra stuff, and that's the little bit of the twist that you get. But so we'll just go straight on through. Right at the beginning of the episode, you get the Doctor completely falling here, and I mean, I think we all know he's not really going to not survive this fall. We all knew he was going to get out of it, we just didn't know how. And what a surprise, Anita actually shows up in this scene. I find this absolutely crazy. Like, I wasn't expecting that, and you didn't need to do a single bit of explanation. You kind of know how she saved him. The Time Hotel has been explained. Anita has been explained. So they don't need to tell you what's going on. They can just straight on in, get him out of that mess with no issues whatsoever. So that's a lovely way of just putting her straight on into the episode, and I absolutely love that. I'm not going to go through every single bit of this episode because I feel like that you've watched this, and if you haven't watched this, then go and watch this and come back. I'm just going to nip over some of the really cool bits that I've actually seen inside this episode. I love the fact that that he has this attachment to this character called Poppy, and who that he believes it to be, and this kind of whole revelation, because there's a whole new, a little bit more of an arc on what Time Lords are. So, you know, you carry that on through, but I say that this thing gets wild when it comes to Time Lord lore. It's just it's so weird and so far off anything that I'd expect. I love the fact that one of the main parts in this is the fact that everything is in like an alternate time that's been created by a wish, and everyone is fooled by it. But the moment you shine real time that exists outside of this wished zone timeline, because actual time is actual time, it starts peering through and think that is a real, that's a fun little sci-fi thing that I could see happening. They're in a little bubble of time, and this real time is going, no, that's unreal. And then, you know, they start realizing, because they start realizing they're not in their right time, and then they start coming to a conclusion that, yeah, everything's fake. And they just have that fascinating way of having these unit cool things inside them where they beat, and the unit people start realizing who they are. And of course, everyone just zooms on back to unit, and unit is unit again. And that's when it's strong and everything starts getting a bit more action-packed, because you know something's gonna happen. The Doctor does a little explanation, and guess who shows up? It's the Rani. The Rani shows up at Unit HQ. I love this little part. She seems kind of high and not really bothered about them. Like, she doesn't feel threatened. She knows they're not a threat. I could easily take these guys down. So she just stands on high, and she knows how to just like command a room. And I really like the fact that the actor that they've got playing her does exactly that. They just command And she's really good at acting in that role, and I absolutely love it. I'm not going to go into the full conversation of how that conversation plays out. It's a really good conversation. But the next thing that we get to see is Unit HQ. Part of something that I was actually looking forward to and predicting is that Unit HQ kind of comes alive. The tower kind of rotates and maneuvers. I kind of like that. There's a steering wheel that steers the whole building left and right. That is so cool. I mean, how... I don't know how they thought of that, but I'm so glad they did. And if they thought of that on day one and designed the graphic of the tower to be able to do that for this finale, that is some like early thinking. Like that's some way early thinking. I love the fact that there's multiple stories coming along here, that Ruby gets to re-talk with Conrad and realize a few things. She's going to get very important near the end with all the wishing stuff. So it's really cool just to see this kind of like sideline plot on the side here. So there's like two plots happening at the exact same time. It's Ruby talking to Conrad while the Doctor's talking to the Rane, and and both of those are very important as they play out and come to the end. But I think there's something a little bit going on with the whole wishing thing. There's a little bit strange. And one of the things that really got me scared near this ending was the fact that when we got Omega returning, that he was going to be a terrible CGI monster, and he was just going to be defeated by a quick snap of a just like Sutek. When Sutek came back, like, he's the big god of death and he can do literally anything, and he gets stopped by a dog lead. I'm calling it the dog lead ending because it feels like the worst ending to a season. But luckily, this wasn't a dog collar ending. To me, from the visuals, Omega needs to return to be fully in power, and from what we see from this particular image of what happens, he's not fully out yet. He's getting out. So the Doctor still has a very short period of time to do something before Omega is fully out and in command. He even hints by saying different things like, I will become the god of time. Like, he's not quite there. He's not fully out of the cage. He's not out of the thing just yet. So because he's still climbing out, he's not fully a god just yet. He's becoming a god. The moment he's fully out the cage, he is the god, but he's not there just yet. He very much says on the lines of, I will become something. The Doctor says this lovely line of, if only I had a weapon hiding in plain sight. The moment he starts saying this, you kind of figured out of what's going to happen. Yes, it's a nice tie-in to the Vindicator. He's been taken around to all the worlds, and because of that, the Vindicator has the power of supernovas, which is a great thing. It makes sense. He's been to all these planets, he's been gathering intel, and all of this traveling combined is the power of supernovas, and it was meant to power this wish world, but actually instead now it's going to power the weapon to defeat Omega. Yes, Omega is going to get blasted by supernovas. I love the fact that this feels a bit more realistic than, again, like I said before, the dog collar ending. It just feels a bit more real. You know what? If Shooty's got to go out, he's going out with a bit of a bang, right? Like, he's fully taking down Omega. And I love this next scene that Ruby's now teleporting, just like Martha did back in that Dalek episode where Daleks tried to end reality. Ruby is now teleporting, wearing that same teleporty thing, and she's able to go to different, go to this place and back. But she's also got this little thing. Because obviously this thing is a bit more built now compared to when Martha used it. She can just teleport back and forth in the same room. It's really cool. She can just do that, grab the baby, and then go bye. I love the scene where the Doctor's battling Omega and he's using the thing and he's saying back into hell, which is kind of the same line that he says to Rassilon in the End of Time. So he's kind of mirroring some bits of David Tennant. So you can kind of see that there is a bit of Doctor like Tennant inside of him. as well as him being his own doctor. So you can kind of see, like, yeah, there is a bit of doctor inside him as he's doing things like this. He doesn't like certain Time Lords, which makes sense. The only enemies that he'll ever have properly are Time Lords. The rest of bad guys he'll try and say, but Time Lords, no, there are certain Time Lords he just can't stand, he doesn't like, and he has to put a stop to them. And that's what he is when he's against like Omega, and I can believe that because he was the same with Rassilon. He doesn't like Rassilon, he just doesn't like him. There are very few but certain characters he just doesn't like. He doesn't want to kill, but he just wants to banish. So this is what he's doing. He's not killing Omega, he's just banishing. He's putting him back where he came from. Okay, so next we get kind of to this ending bit, and it's all about the Doctor believing that he has a child. And you can kind of see there's a little bit of, I don't know kind of what's going on, but he believes he has a child, and everything goes well until the child disappears. And to bring her back, he has to change time. And by doing so, it causes his energy to go into the TARDIS. The 13th Doctor comes back to do something to explain some stuff and help him out with the whole process, and then she leaves, and then the child comes back, but now it's not his child, now it's just Belinda's child and not his child whatsoever, and then he is forced to regenerate. If that sounds complicated, then yeah, it is a little bit complicated. It makes sense, but it's complicated. And also we get a resolution to the robot revolution paradox thing, which is kind of cool. I like the fact that they included that bit, because otherwise that bit would have annoyed me if they didn't do that bit at the end. I feel like the Doctor knew that right from the beginning, that he had to at some point do that. But yeah, he had to get back to that particular date to ship that message off. Otherwise it would just not be correct. So yeah, the Doctor fixed everything. He fixed time. Everything went back into place. So yeah, there you go. That is it. And then finally we end into a regeneration, which I generally believe, and I think a lot of people would prefer just to come black. But no, we didn't. We got an actual person coming out of it, and it just so happened to be one of the Doctor's old companions. I don't know what to say. I don't know if she is going to play the Doctor. It doesn't say that. Every single time we've had a new Doctor, it's always said, now introducing such and such as a Doctor. This time it doesn't say that. So I have no idea if this character that the Doctor's regenerating into, which is an old companion, is the Doctor. And I'm kind of believing on what some of the other fans are believing, that this character might be Bad Wolf. I mean, because otherwise I think it would have said introducing Billy Piper as the Doctor, but it doesn't. It just says introducing Billy Piper and just leaves it blank. So what could that mean? I have no idea. You know, I'm going to say the ending is the only thing that's making me feel a bit weird about this episode. It's because, like, everything was fine up until the regeneration. Everything was, nice, flowed well, and then we get that Billy Piper drop. And I'm like, okay, if she is playing the Doctor, that sounds weird. But if she's doing something different, if we're going to get her for some specials, that I think I'd be okay with. And if they didn't make her the Doctor, oh, then Russell, you've got some storytelling to do. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm wondering what you're going to write here. Because if you write her as the Doctor, that's just weird. If you write her and you do something interesting, well, that could really work. That could be a bit interesting. Like, there's got to be a reason that she's this character. And I presume it's because she must be Bad Wolf or something. Because it's the only thing that makes sense, really. So let's see what he does. Let's see what he does with this episode. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to a bit of a break. I'm looking forward to the new trailer, The Land and the Sea. I'm looking forward to that. Is it what, the war between the land and the sea? That one looks good. The trailer's been dropped for that, so we'll go watch that. But like, oh, what a good episode. I'm gonna say this is a good finale since a very long time. I kind of want to rate it an 8 out of 10, but that's my episode look back. You tell me what you think. Tell me what your favorite parts are. Do you agree, disagree with me at any points? And I'll catch you on another one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. By the way, I don't just do Doctor Who look-back episodes, I do other look-back episodes, so this is a Doctor Who kind of look-back series. I think the next thing we're going to be looking into is probably something around Marvel, so, so look forward to that and bringing that out soon, so catch you on that one in a bit. Catch you later, goodbye. Hey, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, then please don't forget to consider to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on another Jump Inside video. Goodbye.